You've likely tried meditation, haven't you? You know the benefits, getting calmer, less stress, maybe feeling a bit happier day to day.
Hmm.
Perhaps you've even felt some of that. But then, well, for a lot of us, there's a point where you just hit a wall.
Yeah, that happens a
Maybe
lot.
your mind won't quiet down no matter what, or the practice itself starts to feel a bit, I don't know, boring.
Or just unproductive, like you're sitting there and nothing's really changing.
Exactly. And you might wonder, how do people really integrate this into their, busy, complicated lives?
It's a really, really common experience.
Mhm.
So many people start off with great intentions, but then they run into these roadblocks that make it hard to stick with it or to get those deeper benefits.
Right. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. It's for you if you've felt any of that. We've gone through a whole stack of sources, including insights directly from Jeremy O'Carroll, who runs a meditation center, plus specific course materials. And we're exploring this pretty comprehensive method designed to tackle those exact challenges. So our mission really is to unpack how meditation can be reframed,
Yeah, how you can look at it differently.
and how these common hurdles are actually addressed by this method, and also how it all connects to bigger ideas like energetic freedom and just feeling better day to day.
We're aiming to move beyond just the idea of sitting on a mat for 20 minutes. The goal is to show you how, well, profound tranquility and even vibrant energy can actually be woven into pretty much every moment of your day.
Okay, sounds like quite a journey. Let's unpack this. So, okay, we all hear about the big benefits of meditation, feeling calmer, obviously less stress, maybe more daily happiness, even moments of real joy.
Definitely. The sources really back this up. Improved clarity, a sharper mind, and yeah, even accessing these like blissful states. It's powerful stuff.
That's the promise, absolutely. And it's real for people who stick with it. But the reality for so many others is, well, it's a struggle. And the sources we looked at point out some very common roadblocks that, trip people up.
Yeah, they really do.
The number one, I think, for most people is the unquiet mind. Just cannot silence the thoughts. It feels like this constant battle.
Oh, totally. You sit down, try to be peaceful, and bam, the thoughts just keep coming. And it flies in the face of that old advice, doesn't it? Clear your mind.
Right. For ages, that was the goal. Silence everything.
But it seems almost counterintuitive when you think about it. The sources explain the mind is basically designed as a problem-solving machine. Its job is to generate thoughts.
Huh.
So
Okay.
trying to just shut it off completely is, well, the sources say next to impossible and
Yeah.
just leads to frustration.
Mhm.
There's this great Tibetan saying mentioned, trying to meditate without thoughts is like trying to have meat without bones.
Huh. I like that. So it's not about getting rid of thoughts.
It's more about changing your relationship to them. We'll get into how.
Okay. Then there's the other thing, the boredom barrier. Some people find, okay, maybe their mind does quiet down a bit, but then they just feel nothing.
Yeah, like, is this it? I'm just sitting here. It doesn't feel like a tangible or exciting experience, so naturally they get bored and drift away.
Makes sense.
Right.
And then the practical side, let's be real, finding dedicated time to sit formally, it's tough in our packed lives.
It's a huge hurdle. Work, family, errands.
Mm.
It's easy to feel like there's just no slot for it, so people give up before they really even get started.
Which leads to another really interesting point from the sources, what they call the integration gap.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Even for people who do meditate consistently, there's often this clear split between their meditation time and the rest of their life.
Right. The calm maybe lasts for that half hour, maybe an hour, but then stressful situations hit, and it feels like it evaporates. It doesn't permeate the whole day.
And that's precisely the gap the core body-mind method, or CBM, aims to fill. It offers a totally different way of thinking about it.
It really reframes it. Instead of fighting the mind, you learn to work with its natural flow. And the big part of it is connecting to these core energy centers in your energy body. Makes the whole thing feel more integrated and honestly more enjoyable.
And it's not just like a grab bag of techniques. The sources really stress that it's a systematic program. There are 3 parts.
That's right. There's a pre-course to get you ready energetically, then the main course for the deep learning, and a post-course focused on mastery and really integrating it all.
So it sounds like it's especially for people who already meditate but want to go, deeper and make it stick more effectively in their lives.
Exactly. Experienced meditators often hit that plateau we talked about.
Okay, now this next bit from the sources. This is where it gets really interesting for me. It suggests you can meditate while thinking. I mean, that sounds like the complete opposite of meditation.
It does sound totally contradictory, right? And the sources explain why the usual advice, just observe your thoughts, like clouds floating by, why that often doesn't work, especially if you have a really busy mind.
Yeah, I find myself getting swept away by the clouds.
Exactly. You get sucked straight into chasing your thoughts, thinking about this and that, and boom, you're not meditating anymore. It's just hard when your mind is used to churning out thoughts constantly.
So instead of fighting it, you work with it. Is that the idea?
Precisely. This method, called thinking meditation, which Jeremy O'Carroll developed, it works with the mind's natural tendency to think. Instead of pushing thoughts away, you actually deliberately cultivate specific kinds of thoughts.
Whoa, okay. Cultivate thoughts.
Yeah, and you use these cultivated thoughts as an anchor to hold you in a really deep meditative state.
That's, wow. So, okay, the sources use this analogy of the Dalai Lama in a noisy restaurant.
Right. He can hear all the chatter, the noise is there, but he's not disturbed by it. He stays anchored in his meditation because he's detached from the noise.
So the noise doesn't pull him in.
Exactly. Thinking meditation applies that same idea, but the noise is internal. It's your own thoughts. You're still generating thoughts, but you remain in this observer position relative to them.
Ah, I see. So the thoughts are happening, but they don't define your state.
Correct. And this makes it a much more robust form of meditation, as the sources put it. It's something you can actually maintain more easily throughout your day.
Which means you could actually be doing the dishes or working at your desk or walking, even reading maybe, and still be anchored in that meditative state.
That's the goal. The sources even cheekily suggest you could be getting paid, in a sense, to meditate while at work.
Huh. That's genuinely integrating it. Amazing.
And it goes beyond just managing the mind. CBM also teaches you how to tap into these incredibly blissful, pleasurable energy states that already exist within your body.
Blissful. Okay, tell me more. That sounds better than boredom.
Way better. It makes meditation something you actually look forward to, something deeply enjoyable, rather than a chore or something dry.
Okay, so this brings us to the core part of CBM, tapping into inner power stations. We hear a lot about chakras, these 7 energy centers. How does the CBM approach, which apparently comes from Thai monasteries, go beyond just knowing about them?
Right, it's not just intellectual knowledge. The CBM method, with those roots in Thai monastic traditions, gives you really specific experiential techniques. Things like visualization, working with colors, ways to help you personally feel and activate these energy points strongly.
So you actually experience the chakra.
Yes, directly. And once you connect, the energy is described as radiating out like a glowing sun. It completely changes the inner landscape of your meditation. So for instance, connecting to the base chakra makes you feel grounded and secure.
Okay.
The heart chakra opens up this feeling of love and connection. The crown chakra connects you to, well, higher states. It's about direct, tangible engagement, not just theory.
Got it. And the sources also talk about something called a Sushumna, a central energy channel. How does that fit in?
Think of this Sushumna or Sushumna as like the main energy highway in your system. It runs right up the spine from the base to the crown.
Okay.
CBM teaches you to access and activate this channel, but usually in stages, building on those chakra connections you've already made.
And the benefit of activating this highway?
The sources say it creates this incredibly powerful centering effect. It makes deep focus feel almost effortless because you're anchored in the central core rather than being pulled around by scattered thoughts. And think about it, our beings naturally seek pleasure.
True.
So when your meditation connects you to this really pleasurable core energy, you instinctively want to stay there. Focus becomes easy, deep.
So once you're rooted in these core energies, CBM then guides you to expand outwards.
That's right. Once you have that inner connection, it gently teaches you to expand your awareness just a little bit out from the body.
Into your energy field, your aura.
Exactly, into your energy field or aura. And it's done very gradually, step by step, maybe first focusing just outside one chakra, then eventually encompassing your whole energy body.
What does that feel like?
The sources describe it as exquisite, a deeply relaxing state. It's like your personal space expands into this bubble of calm awareness, making you feel more connected to everything around you, less separate. And that expanded awareness also helps you stay really deeply focused in your meditation.
It sounds very holistic. And speaking of holistic, the sources also mention diet and exercise being important.
Yeah, they emphasize that preparing the physical body helps immensely with the energetic work. Simple things, less processed sugar, less processed food generally, maybe less red meat. Combine that with more exercise, and it just makes it easier for your mind to settle.
And for the energy to flow better.
Exactly. Your energy circuits run more effectively when the body is clearer. It all works together.
Okay, so we've gone from working with the thinking mind to tapping into this deep, pleasurable core energy, and then even expanding out into our energy field. This all sounds incredibly beneficial for just feeling better day to day.
Def-
But then the sources take it even deeper. They connect all this to the idea of karma and achieving real freedom from old patterns by dissolving something called energetic residue. How does that connection work?
Yeah, this is where it gets really profound. The sources first reframe karma. It's not presented as some kind of cosmic reward or punishment system.
Right, not like you are bad, so this bad thing happens.
Exactly. It's described as being much more scientific, almost like physics, pure energetic cause and effect. You set an energetic force in motion, and it inevitably has an effect, creates a ripple that comes back.
Okay, energetic cause and effect. Makes sense.
And where it becomes personal is with this idea of energetic residue. The sources explain that our personal karma, the patterns in our lives, are often driven by this past energetic residue stored in our body, or specifically in our energy field.
Like old energy stuck in the system.
Precisely. The Buddhist term samskaras is used. These are like these stuck energetic forces, almost like emotional ghosts from the past. They aren't necessarily conscious memories, but they create this subtle, deep-seated push.
A push towards what?
Towards thinking and acting in certain habitual ways, towards feeling specific emotions. Like an old computer program running silently in the background, influencing your reactions without you even realizing it sometimes.
The sources used that example of socks left on the floor, didn't they?
Yes, it's such a relatable example.
Yeah.
It's not just that one pair of socks that makes you explode. It's the accumulated memory, the collective weight of every single time it happened before. That buildup of energetic residue creates this huge, often disproportionate emotional reaction.
Because these past forces are pushing you towards that familiar anger or frustration.
Exactly. And the sources say these pushes can feel hard to resist. You can even physically feel this residue sometimes, like a tightness or tension in your chest, or your throat, or your solar plexus.
Oh, interesting. Like a physical manifestation of that stuck energy.
Right. And then your impulse is to try and ease this tension, often by lashing out or falling into those old, unhelpful patterns of behavior.
So if we want real freedom from these patterns, the solution isn't just willpower, it's actually removing this energetic residue, getting rid of the triggers.
That's the core idea. The sources are quite blunt. Time, despite the saying, doesn't heal everything. All it does is bury stuff.
Oof, yeah.
Because a trigger can come along years later and reactivate that old hurt, showing it was never really gone, just buried. So the most effective tools aren't just general healing, but specific meditations designed to act like surgical tools to remove energetic residue.
Surgical tools, I like that. And the sources mention the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, or even 90-10. The idea is you don't necessarily have to clear every single tiny past hurt. By focusing on the big issues, the really juicy hurts and unresolved emotions, you can clear out the vast majority of that residue that's holding you back.
So how do you do that, practically?
The process involves identifying those past incidents or patterns that still trigger an emotional reaction, or that feeling of energetic contraction when you think about them.
Yeah.
Making a list. And then you use specific meditations focused on each one with the intention of dissolving that stuck energy, the sign you've been successful. When you can think about that past incident and feel emotionally neutral about it, the charge is gone.
Wow. And the course materials, Redesigning Your Energy Body, they offer a whole range of these surgical tools.
They really do. It's quite comprehensive. For just general clearing of the energy field, there are things like the psychic aura sweep, bypassing the variations, the forest walk, the light tub. These cleanse the aura, clear energy channels called meridians, and generally raise your vibration, giving you that buoyant sense of well-being.
Okay, that sounds nice, like energetic hygiene.
Exactly. But then it gets really targeted for specific past hurts and blocks.
So like pinpoint accuracy instead of a general cleanse.
Precisely. Think about using dissolving trauma meditations to energetically work on specific painful memories. Or a technique called recapitulation, to actually reclaim energy you lost in difficult interactions and return energy that isn't yours, helping those events feel neutral.
Reclaim energy. Interesting. What else?
There's an anger meditation specifically to clear the poison, as they call it, of old lingering anger. A forgiveness meditation to release that trapped negative energy associated with holding on to resentment.
Forgiveness is huge.
Absolutely. And then for building positive states, there's an inner child meditation to cultivate deep self-love and heal early wounds. And I'm enough meditation to tackle those core feelings of inadequacy, connecting you to your inherent worth, your radiant essence.
That sounds incredibly powerful, freeing you up to pursue what you really want.
That's the idea. And it even gets into success-oriented meditations, things like dissolving success blocks meditations, to find and dissolve unconscious patterns that might be sabotaging your efforts.
Wow, like self-sabotage patterns.
Exactly. Or a money blocks meditation if you have negative associations holding you back financially. And finally, higher purpose and higher self meditations to help you align with your true path and potential. It's a very thorough toolkit for energetic freedom.
Hearing about Jeremy O'Carroll's own journey, the creator, it really clicks how these different pieces came together. He emphasizes his own 30-year path studying in India, Thailand, Nepal. Doing intense retreats wasn't smooth. It mirrored the same struggles people face.
Absolutely. He talks about how early on, it would sometimes take him over an hour just to settle his mind, even meditating in freezing temperatures. He really grappled with that repetitive, often unhelpful nature of the mind.
And how emotions can just pull you in.
Yeah, how emotions can trigger thoughts that seem to justify the emotion, creating a loop. A key realization for him was learning not to take his thoughts and emotions too seriously, to see them more like a passing cloud.
That detachment we talked about earlier.
Right, and that led to key discoveries. He found there's this deeper level, a substratum, beneath the surface chatter of thoughts and emotions.
A deeper level.
Yeah, one that's inherently deeply meditative and feels connected to everything. That insight was the seed for thinking meditation, realizing you could anchor in that state even while thoughts were present.
Ah, okay. And the energy clearing.
That came significantly from years doing shamanic practices. He learned the importance of actually confronting and liberating the energy tied up in repressed memories and difficult experiences. He realized that going into these kind of darker places, energetically speaking, wasn't something to fear. It actually led to amazing releases of energy.
So facing it frees the energy.
Exactly. And then his experience with Reiki was also key. It helped him connect with and feel energy in a really tangible, easy way, which heavily influenced the CBM focus on working directly with the chakras and energy centers.
So CBM really is the synthesis, isn't it? The culmination of all those years of practice and insight, tools to connect with your body's energy as a daily anchor.
Combined with a way to flow with your mind instead of fighting it.
And all designed to be effective, but also pleasurable, working with our natural inclination towards feeling good, rather than making meditation feel like another discipline we have to force ourselves into.
It's a very practical system, born from decades of real-world experience, aimed at overcoming those common obstacles and truly integrating these deeper states into everyday life.
Right. So we've really covered a lot today. We've looked at how meditation can shift from being a source of frustration to something genuinely integrated into your life.
Yeah, moving beyond just sitting.
From working with your thoughts, using thinking meditation, to tapping into your body's own amazing energy systems, the chakras, the sushumna.
And then expanding that awareness outwards into your energy field.
And finally, using specific techniques to dissolve that old energetic residue from the past, clearing the way for, well, real freedom.
This whole approach, it really does promise more than just fleeting moments of calm. It points towards a continuous meditative awareness woven into daily life.
Leading to more clarity, better emotional balance, definitely more joy, and that ability to choose how you respond to things from a place of freedom, not just reacting based on old triggers.
It's quite transformative potential.
So here's something to think about. How might really understanding and actively working with your own inner energetic landscape transform not just your formal meditation practice, if you have one, but actually every single interaction, every experience you have in your waking life?
Imagine if your daily activities, working, walking, talking, all became an extension of that grounded, aware, meditative state. What would that feel like?
Something to ponder. Thank you for diving deep with us today.